let's talk about how these principles explain how different reactions happen at different rate or span. As you said earlier, there are different factors affecting reaction rates. Okay, so the following are 4 main factors affecting the rate of reaction, which we will discuss. Okay, these are temperature, surface area of contact, the presence of catalyst, and the concentration. So right now, I have a question for you. Okay, how to prevent this from happening? So we all know that this is a food spoilage or decomposition of okay, so this is a decomposition of unorganic materials. Okay, if I will ask how will I slow down the rate of reaction of food spoilage, what will be the first thing that comes into your mind? Okay, so Ray answered, put it on a fridge or freeze it. Or Mike said, lower the temperature. Okay, so yes, we usually place the food in an area with a low temperature to postpone its spoilage. Okay, so that we can eat it when we want to eat it, right? Okay, it delays the spoilage and keeps food safe by preventing microorganisms from growing and by slowing down the enzyme activity that causes food to spoil. Okay? Okay, so right now we found out that the lower the temperature, the lower the rate of reaction. And also, the higher the temperature, the higher the rate of reaction. Okay? That's why when we freeze a fruit or a food, okay, the spoilage are postponed or the spoilage happens very slowly. Okay? Because the molecules or the enzymes and the microorganisms moves very slowly and that the decomposition happens very slow. Okay? If you increase the temperature, like in cooking, okay, more molecules will move fast, more fruitful, more energy, and thus more fruitful collision, and the faster the rate of reaction. Okay? So, next factor is the surface area, okay, or the surface area of contact. As we can see, fruitful collisions happen when there are contacts in between reactants. Okay? In combustion, oxygen and fuel reacts when they are in contact with each other. Okay? So, what could be one of the ways to stop the combustion? Okay? Okay, so, okay, you can answer right now in our forum. Okay, K said by limiting or hindering the contact between oxygen and fuel. Okay, so excellent. That's what fire extinguishers do. Okay, so most fire extinguishers soak up heat, melt on the fuel, and cut off oxygen, but they also neutralize the fuel, cutting it off from the fire. So the primary purpose of fire extinguisher is to separate or to eliminate or decrease and then fully eliminate the contact between the reactants, which are oxygen and the fuel. Okay? So, thus, we can say that the larger the surface area of contact means the higher the rate of reaction. Whereas the smaller the surface area of contact, the lower the rate of reaction. And if there's no contact between the reactants, therefore, there is no reaction. Okay, now let's move to the third part. Okay, let's talk about how catalyst affects the rate of reaction. Okay, a catalyst speeds up the rate of reaction by lowering the activation energy needed for fruitful collision. Okay, it happens due to a certain property of a catalyst. So as you can see in our diagram, okay, the activation energy without catalyst is very high. Okay, so it needs more energy for it to react faster. Okay, while the catalyst, in the presence of catalyst, the activation energy with catalyst is lower or considerably lower, so that more reaction can happen even at a small amount of energy. Okay, so catalyst speeds up reaction. Okay, so this one. Okay, so one of the example is also a salt water. Okay, salt water in an iron. Okay, salt water does not make a metal rust, but it accelerates the rusting process, because electrons move easily in salt water than they do in pure water. Very interesting. Okay, another one is the yeast in the fermentation. Okay, fermentation has been used for centuries to produce alcoholic drinks. Okay, this process, enzymes in yeast catalyze the breakdown of sugar molecules into ethanol. So if there is very little yeast, okay, or very few yeast, okay, the reaction rate is very low. So the presence of catalyst, okay, the more catalyst, it increases the rate of reaction. Okay, so as we can see here right now, okay, so the presence of catalyst causes higher rate of reaction. Okay, so right now I now have a question. I have another question for you guys. Okay, so which one do you think will have a higher rate of reaction? Okay, so in that two situation, okay, in our simulator, okay, so which one, the right side or the left side? Okay, so Jessica said the left one. Okay, so why do you think so? Okay, so Jessica, why do you think so, Jessica? Okay, so Jessica replied, because there will be more chances of fruitful collision to happen. Okay, so the more substances or the more molecules means the more collision that will happen, the more the chance the fruitful collision will take place, and thus the faster the reaction. Okay, so and thus higher rate of reaction. Okay, so that's very good. The more fruitful collision, the faster the rate of reaction will be. Okay, so the higher the concentration, the higher the rate of reaction, which will yield more products at a certain amount of time. Okay, the lower the concentration, the lower the rate of reaction. Just like in fermentation. Okay, we use grapes and barleys and other grains, okay, because they have more sugar content. Okay, the more glucose, the more yeast will process in fermentation, and then the more product we will have, which indicates that the faster rate of reaction is happening. Okay, so right now let's have a home activity. Okay, so to further understand the lesson, let us have an activity. Do these two home activities and determine the factor affecting the rate of reaction and give a brief explanation about it. Just write it on your notebook. Okay, pause the video. Okay, pause the video and do these things. Okay, pour a coffee powder in 2 empty cups. Pour cold water in the first cup and hot water in the next one. Okay, and stir and observe. Okay, the second activity is to pour hot water into empty cups, 2 empty cups. Pour crushed pepper in the first cup and a whole pepper in the next one. Okay, stir, taste, and observe. Okay, so right now, pause the video and you do the activity and do it on your notes. Okay? Okay, so I believe you have learned so much right now. So it's time to evaluate. Okay, guys? So let's evaluate if you were able to learn something. I have a six item quiz right here. Okay, so write T if statement is true and F is the statement is false. Okay, so write your answer on your notebook. Okay, pause this video and write your answer. Okay, so I will reveal the answer later. Okay. Okay, so now that you've answered, let's check. Okay? Okay, the answer keys are... Okay, so this is also the evaluation sheet. If you want the worksheet or you don't have an internet connection, you can answer that. Okay, so the answer keys are FT, FT, FT. Okay, so that's the, our answer. Okay, so for your assignment, guys, wait, let's fit it to our learning management system, Genyo. Okay, so create an essay with a maximum of 150 words entitled A World Where All Reactions Have the Same Rate, and pass it in the assignment section of our lesson package in Genyo. So you will describe a world where all reactions like combustion, explosion, rusting, all have the same rate. Okay, so we'll picture out and embed it in an essay form. Okay, so last one for our ending before we end, guys. Okay, so let's ponder our values integration. Okay, I leave you the verse Ecclesiastes 3:1 of our GNT version. Everything that happens in this world happens at the time God chooses. Okay, so if we will process it, if chemical reactions have different rates, people's lives have different time zones. When I mean time zones, most people become successful or start a business when they are old, and some people are starts when they are young, but they get broke when they are old. Okay, so don't compare yourself to others because you have the different time zone than them. Maybe you think you are not successful right now, you are still waiting, but maybe it's not your time yet. Okay, everything has time and God chooses the timing. Okay, that's why chemical reactions have different rates, because everything in this world happens as time God chooses. Okay, and you will know the importance of it when you do the assignment. Okay, the world when all rates, okay, all chemical reactions have the same rate. Okay, so these are my resources, and thank you very much, guys, for our... Okay, thank you very much, guys, for listening. Don't forget to do the activities for our classes and prepare for our next topic. You just read ahead, and thank you very much. Good luck, guys, and may God bless us all.